planet Vrilock. And this episode is Being Sore with Air Dr. Vrilock. Yeah, you know, one thing that always brings me back to reality is a little labor work. Do some yard work, fix something, new coat of painting, some weed whacking, and you come back to your senses and you realize that all of these crazy ass narratives in the world don't mean a fucking thing to your life, except that some of these people, insane as they are, happen to write policy. Well, you and I can influence policy when we need to. That's why we use psionics. Unfortunately, all of this takes a lot of concentration, but I have a solution for that. One of them is when you're working on systems, remote systems of any kind, whether these are computers or satellites or what have you. A little practice with the remote presence, remote influence, and remote viewing is suggested, but it is impractical to keep this up for any consistency or any length of time. So to accomplish the seemingly impossible feat of global control, we will work with something I created called psionic robots. So this is one example of a psionic robot, and what it does is it allows my mind to familiarize a series of tasks to one object, and this object is tunable. This object plugs into various psionics peripherals, including helmets and ray guns, and there is even a beautiful witness tray right here. So I can lock it in and beam out from the top with whatever I want. Oh, it's so much fun. But the importance is understanding that this simple idea is more than a stroke of genius. It's as they say, nature is the mother of invention. No, I think that was necessity is the mother of invention, or what have you. I'm not one for cliches, as you know. But if you're new to all this psionic stuff, I gotta tell you this. You really need to get a copy of this classic book, Keep The Magick High, because you do want to keep the magic high. And that's the only way you can influence the world. Now, in this book, I start you off learning about the distinctions between the two schools of thought, magic and science. Science says, and magic says. And we get you past all these hurdle stones of belief and disbelief, because, frankly, belief and disbelief both practice a degree of denial. So we need to get past belief and disbelief and enter the world of knowing. And knowing is done through personal experience. So you need some training. And I'm going to show you about that in this book. You learn about what you need for your daily training. You also learn how to set up your own laboratory. And I should say it's cost effective, really. There's no need for really expensive gadgetry if all the power's in here. Like I said, you only really need some familiar objects that are tunable. A psionic robot, for which I have many, for different purposes. And that allows me to free up my focus and thinking, so that I'm not spending all this time thinking I have to project my remote presence to this organization or this region in the world. My robot allows me to lock onto this. so I can focus on what it is I wish to transmit, and it is that simple. So, plus you get these wonderful comics in the back of every book. Herr Dr. Vrilock won't disappoint you when you become a Vrilock Psionics Power Master and a good friend of Herr Doktor. Tell your friends, if training in the occult is your candy and your friends are books, then Vrilock's Candy Store is where all your friends are at, and you will find them here at Vrilock.com/shop, where witches and wizards keep the magic high. This is Herr Doktor, signing off.